everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to the anime review. Today we're looking at episode 8 of Sword Art Online Season 3, Alicization arc. Now, I will say, awesome. That was a great episode. Oh, A1 Pictures, you're knocking it out of the park with Sword Art this season. Like, this is hands down the best season since the first, 7 episodes. And that's me saying that from Sword Art Online. Like I always tell you, light novel's better, anime not as good. This is awesome, really. So we have Kirito using finally this new sword that he got. I don't believe it has a name yet. I think in the light novel they do name it, but it's made from the Gigas tree. And we finally have him fighting against the first seat because of the fact that he spit mud on him from the last week's episode. But the thing is the battle between them is very interesting because we see a very, I want to say, recurring concept of this new season of Sword Art and this new world that Kirito's in. So the underworld essentially has this very interesting concept where imagination is key. And I know it sounds kind of corny, like imagination. That's like imagination. No, but seriously, imagination has a lot to do with how people are able to win and fight in this world. It's that it does enhance specific abilities. It makes it where if you really truly imagine yourself being able to, wield this sword or using this ability, it makes it a little bit more possible. Using certain skills, it makes it a little more possible. That's why Kirito's knowledge from SEO is kind of translated to here in this world because of that fact that he's, he imagined himself able to use these sword skills that realistically don't per se not exist, but they're also not meant to be the exact copies of it. It's not like Vorpal Strike really exists in this world. There's versions of it, but it's not the same. And we see that best represented not only by his attack with the whole thing of the sword growing larger, because in his mind he wanted to win the battle, he wanted to be overpowering, the first seat, but more so because we see it from the first seat himself where he uses Avalanche, which is, the two-handed strike that he does, the one that cleaves forward. We see all of a sudden appearing behind him all the people that he's learned from, because as we find out, this style that he uses is apparently descended upon each family member. So it goes from lineage to lineage and becomes stronger. It thirsts for blood as the I always forget his mentor's name, but his mentor told him that's something that makes him strong, is that he's able to kind of embody all of these past generations in this attack that he has. But Kirito comes out per se in a draw. It's like he wins by definition because he hit him on the first strike, which is enough. That was all it was supposed to be, is the first strike. But it's considered like a draw by everyone, and especially Kirito, because I didn't actually win. I drew I hit him, but I didn't beat him. I'm like, dude, you did what the whole point of the thing was, though, is to hit him once, and that's it. That's all you really needed, right? Aside from that, though, the biggest thing is that we have Kirito and Yu-Gi-Oh moving up, and now they're elites, so now they're just a little bit closer to getting the tower, and also a little bit closer to one of the big defining moments of the series, which I am looking forward to so damn much, you have no idea. So, I've been right so far with the episode, I want to say numbers, in terms of what's happening next. The biggest thing that will happen in this season in terms of this arc right now, him, training as elite and all that, is going to probably happen at episode 10, I want to say. Episode 9 is going to set up something that's pretty messed up, but episode 10 will be the big defining moment. And by episode 15 or 16, I think that's when we'll finally have it where I will not be able to tell you what happens from then on, because that will be where the light novel now surpasses me. Because like I told you guys, I'm not caught up with the light novel. I'm trying to catch up with it. But at the same time, watching the anime, I'm like, I don't know if I want to keep up with that light novel because I want to be kind of surprised. I know all the stuff that's about to happen. I know where it's going. And I kind of hate that. It's great to see it in animation form, but at the same time, I'm not being surprised. And I kind of like watching anime a little bit to be surprised. I don't want to know everything that's going to happen. That was my biggest issue, with, if you guys remember Orange. I had read all the manga. I binged the shit out of manga for Orange. It was great. And then I watched the anime and I was like, I can't get into this because I know what's going to happen. Even though seeing it animated is great and all, I know the story. I know the secrets, the surprises that's about to occur. And so it kind of killed my enjoyment of the whole thing. And that's why sometimes I'm always kind of afraid to go into an anime or do a new series that I've already knew what's going to happen. Like Goblin Slayer, for example, I only read a little bit of Goblin Slayer, so I didn't know beyond the first, I want to say 4 episodes what was going to happen. I didn't know anything, of what's currently happening and all that. But, I didn't even realize that he was going to reveal his armor. Or take off his armor in episode, was it 8? I was surprised with that. But I know this talk about different anime series, and you're probably wanting to talk about Sword Art, so I'll go back a little bit. I'll digress. I'm really enjoying Sword Art Online. Episode 8 shows that they're really putting a lot of attention to making sure it's very similar to the light novel, with some little changes here and there. Like, for example, that whole thing with the flowers that Kirito was raising, and they kind of were destroyed by those 2 bullies. By the way, I'm telling you, I said this last week's episode. They will get their just comeuppance very soon. Trust me, very, very soon. They bad things will happen to them. I'm not going to spoil it. I want to so bad, but bad things will happen to them, and they will get what they deserve. Because I can't stand them. I can't stand people like that in general, but I can't stand those 2. But and you'll understand why, especially this week's episode coming. Because if they do how they're speeding through with certain parts of this, episode 9 is going to be like pissing a lot of people off. Not in a bad way, mind you. It's going to piss them off about these characters. And you're also going to learn something very interesting about the whole taboo index. Because I don't know if you guys noticed something about the taboo index. It's not 100% foolproof. It makes it where you can do things if you're smart about it. If that makes no sense to you, think about the whole fact of them destroying Kirito's property. This was better explained in the light novel, which I'm surprised they kind of overshot this. Maybe they're doing that because episode 9 is going to talk about it more. But Kirito's garden was destroyed by these 2 bullies. Clearly, as it was destroyed by them. But the thing is that in the light novel, it talks more about how the taboo index should have stopped them from doing that, because that's Kirito's property per se. But then they go, well, here's the thing. This is what you didn't know. So even though this is his property, he doesn't have the rights to the area itself. Like, it's not his land. Like, even though he's planting things and he's grazing up, the plants are his, but the soil's not. So that's how they're like, oh, we can tear it apart and not get hurt by the taboo index and get in trouble for it. So it's like, oh, here's your equipment. I'm not gonna use it, but at the same time, I'm gonna push it, past this property, because guess what? It's on this piece of property. As long as it's not on this one anymore, it's now on mine. Now it's my equipment. That's kind of how it goes. It plays this thing where the rules bend depending on how you play them. It kind of goes with the whole imagination. By the way, I apologize if my voice squeaks out. It's because I'm still sick, technically, so yeah. But aside from that, it's very interesting. I love the taboo index because it's like almost kind of our version of rules and regulations, where, yeah, you can't do this to someone, but people still try to find, ways of like, oh, here's a little loophole that you can do this without getting in trouble, because why the hell not? Trust me, the taboo index is going to be really played on episode 10. I feel it already. Episode 9 will probably set the startup for it. It's going to be the setup. But episode 10 will be the greatness to it. I can't wait for it. Anyways, what are you guys thinking about Sword Art? I would love to hear from you, as always, in the comments below. Let me know. I just said let me know. I don't know what's plep. Is that a word? I'm going to look that up later. Plep. It sounds kind of fun to say, though. Plep. Anyways, aside from that, I will talk to you guys later. God bless you all. If you want to, please subscribe to my channel. Help me grow to 2,000 subscribers. I'm hoping to get to 2,000 by the end of the year. Highly doubt it'll happen, but, hey, I almost got there. I'm only like 100 subscribers away from 2,000. That's pretty cool. I'm very happy about that. Thanks, everyone, for helping me get to this point. And, I didn't think it would happen once I started working and stuff like that. I really didn't think my channel would even keep growing. I thought it would kind of die out completely, but I'm trying to keep it alive, guys. I promise you, I'm trying. I'll talk to you guys later. God bless you all. Have a great night, everyone. Bye-bye.